On New Year's Eve last year, I wrote down a few New Year's resolutions and goals for myself. One of these goals was that I wanted to create more and consume less. Now, at the time, I had no idea what this would mean, but I knew that I wanted to be more proactive about putting something out into the world for other people rather than just consuming. And so for the first half of 2023, I tried a number of different things, including like writing up stock pitches and investment memos. I tried posting on Seeking Alpha and some other online forums, but nothing really stuck. And in May of this year, my family's cat, Snowy, who we had had for over 15 years, passed away. And for the first time in my life, I've never had somebody in my immediate family pass away. Like my grandparents, some of them passed away already, but I was never like that emotionally invested. And this was the first time that I really felt some personal loss. And I know it's kind of stupid. It's like, oh, it's just an animal. But this was the pet that I grew up with as a young child through middle school, high school, college, coming back home for breaks, seeing him at home. And for the first time in my life, I just felt this profound sense of immortality. We all have one life to live, and it's up to us whether or not we want to live our one life by our own terms or if we want to live by someone else's terms. There's a quote that I really like by a guy named Dan Coe, and the quote is something along the lines of, if you don't choose what your goals are in life, then society or someone else will assign goals for you. And I realized that up until that point, I had been living my life that way. And so I told myself, look, I'm going to do something on my own terms. And that thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to be more creative. I wanted to create. And in June, I watched a YouTube video by someone who was talking about their YouTube journey. And they said, look, I challenge you, post your first YouTube video in the next 24 hours. Otherwise, if you don't do that, you never will. And I thought to myself, wow, this guy, well, first of all, he's really intense, but also I think there's an element of truth in here. In that moment, all the limiting beliefs and the thoughts that I had about, oh, who would want to listen to me? What do I have to say that people would want to hear? Why would I be successful on YouTube? There's like millions of other people online who are more attractive, more intelligent, have more interesting things to say, are better on camera, have more know-how about how to edit and film videos. There were a million reasons that my brain could have come up with for why I shouldn't post a video and why I shouldn't start a channel. But that day I just felt compelled to post a video. And so within 24 hours, I filmed and posted my first video. For those of you, if you're curious, you can go back and look at my first video. It was nothing related to consulting or investment banking. It was just a video that I posted on my experiences taking cold showers for 120 days. And the way that I filmed it was I literally propped my phone up on top of my laptop, and then I just talked at the camera for a few minutes, and then I used a free editing software, and I didn't really even know what I was doing. I just added like a music soundtrack behind it, and boom. That was the video. I posted it. But then that led to the second challenge, which is, what do you do from here? And part of the commitment that I made to myself was, I'm going to post a video every week for at least the next 6 months to a year. And after that, I'll have no regrets. Even if I remain a small YouTuber and nobody watches my videos, I'll at least have tried. And so I think the first 3 months were the absolute hardest because, I didn't want to tell anyone about the channel. I felt a little bit embarrassed. Like, what are people gonna say about me? What are they gonna think about me? The only people that I really told were my immediate family and my girlfriend. And I would spend hours, like my entire weekend, on essentially filming and editing because I was a complete beginner. And over time, I got better. But one of the biggest lessons that I've learned from that experience, which doesn't only apply to YouTube, but just life in general, is showing up imperfectly is better than not showing up at all. And what I mean by that is, there were so many times when I didn't want to post a video. I started working on something and then I felt like, oh, this video idea sucks. Nobody's gonna watch it. I don't have enough time. I've been super busy this week. I'm so tired. The content quality isn't gonna be good. Like, I don't have enough time to edit and film this to the degree that I want it to be at. I should just wait another week or two, give myself enough time to really create something that's excellent quality before posting it. There were so many times, even recently, that I felt that way and that I've almost not posted a video. But then I post it and then the video does really well. And you guys comment all these positive things. I'm super grateful for all of the support. And then I realized that, oh, a lot of this fear and this doubt comes from my own mind. And it's not really necessarily a representation of reality. And so I think this applies to a lot of things in life. Like, for example, if you're trying to get a new job and you feel like you're not ready to interview, I would seriously urge you to consider going through with interviewing because yes, you might fail, but the experience is going to teach you a lot of things. You have to first get going, and then you have to get good. You don't get good by not doing. You need to go through the experiences, go through the failures, and experience the suffering, for lack of a better term, before you can really get to a successful outcome. To give another example, if you're working out in the gym, everybody who is jacked in the gym started out as somebody who was small, or maybe they were fat and overweight. They didn't have the body that they currently have. But the only way that they got to that successful outcome was that they started, even though they probably lacked a ton of knowledge and they lacked the confidence, but they just forced themselves to get going before they got good. And so if there's one thing that you take away from this video, I want it to be that if you have a goal that you think is unattainable, don't think about the end result. Just focus on the immediate actions that you need to be taking day by day. Measuring your success by the outcome that you have limited control over is a surefire way to end up disappointed. For example, I could have told myself when I was recruiting for consulting that, oh, I have to get into McKinsey, otherwise I'm a complete and utter failure. You guys would probably think, wow, that's like the dumbest way to think about it, right? Like, you got into BCG, that's a really good firm. And you're right, that is the wrong way to think about it. And so sometimes whenever I speak with students and they say, what do you think about Goldman? Or what do you think about Bain and Company? Like, I really, really want to get into it. That's my dream firm. I always tell them, look, it's great that you really like this company and you've had really great conversations with the people there and you can really see yourself working there. But at the end of the day, please don't place your value and don't define success based on a very specific outcome that you have very limited control over. Yes, you could be the perfect candidate, but you might not get into the specific firm that you want to for a variety of reasons unrelated to your performance. So I think instead the way to go about it is to think about success through actions. Like, can I practice doing a case interview every weekend? Can I post a video on YouTube every week? Can I go to the gym 3 times a week? These are the kinds of goals that you should measure your success by. Action-oriented goals, not outcome-oriented goals, because outcome-oriented goals are often too specific and have too many variables involved that you can't really guarantee that you're going to meet that outcome. But what you can guarantee is that you take the actions that you say you're going to take. But anyways, I know I've been rambling for a bit, so all I want to say is if you have a goal for 2024 that you feel is almost impossible, don't be intimidated by it. Focus on the daily actions that you yourself have the power to influence. And again, always be kind to yourself and remember that showing up imperfectly is better than showing up not at all. Let me know in the comments below what your goals are for 2024. But anyways, I'll see you in the new year. Peace.